Mike Abda with us here on the John Mendola Show, the head coach of the Mid-Valley Boys Basketball Program. Happy New Year, Mike. Here we are. We're all sitting around. We're kind of waiting. Everybody's kind of chomping on the bit, whether it's players, coaches, parents, officials. But it's a different world. You know, we're hoping 2021 is going to be a little better than where we were in 2020. But let's talk about what the last month has been like for you and your team. Have you guys had Zoom meetings or workouts, anything going on with the Mid-Valley Boys Basketball Program?
Yeah, Happy New Year, John, and thanks for having me. Yeah, it's been really difficult. You know, as a coach, you always want your players to stay connected, you know, to your coaching staff and to each other. So, you know, we really did our best over the last 3 weeks to try to keep everybody connected. You know, we had occasional Google Meets, and we had a Google Classroom set up where, you know, we would post some, you know, voluntary workouts that they can do at home, whether it's, you know, run on a treadmill or go for a run outside or ball handling in the garage or whatever it is. And, you know, our coaches tried to just hold them as accountable as we could to, you know, hopefully, you know, voluntarily saying, you know what, we're going to try to come back January 4th in shape and do everything that we can to not skip a beat at practice and not have to, you know, focus on conditioning for a week and maybe get right back into it. So as a coach, you know, that's where you're hoping that they walk in, you know, hopefully Monday, ready to go. And, you know, but yeah, we tried all sorts of ways to stay connected. I mean, you know, we talked every day in the group chat that we have. Guys would send, you know, pictures or videos of them working out. And, you know, I actually the other day had my son in the car and we were driving by, and, you know, one of my players was shooting at a court in Oliphant. And then on my way back from running the errand, in troop, there was another one of my players shooting on a different court. So, you know, it's good to see. I think I have a, you know, really high quality group of kids that really want to learn and want to be better. So, you know, I think that they're doing everything they can that's in their power. And, you know, obviously at some point we'll see.
And of course, you know, we all have opinions. You have an opinion. I have an opinion. But, you know, we have to leave it in the people who make decisions at the state level, at the PIAA level, at the PIAA District 2 level, at the Lackawanna Conference, at Mid-Valley School District. There's a lot of factors that go into this. Control what we can control. That's definitely a mantra this year. But with that being said, let's talk a little bit about the players coming back here for the 2021 season. You have a nice group. I know that you're excited about them. And, you know, you got some hard workers there at Mid-Valley, and then the Spartans, you know, hoping to have another positive year.
Yeah, a lot of blue collar, like hardworking kids that, like I said previously, I can tell just in the limited time that I've had with them on the court that they want to be good. You know, I mean, they welcome coaching. You know, there's no egos, there's no attitudes. There's every guy that you know, that steps on the court at practice wants to be better. And so that's great. You know, I think senior, you know, we only have 3 seniors. You know, Derek Rivera and Christian Ricardo are really hard workers. And, you know, Tyler O'Connor is a 4-year kid. And, you know, he's definitely the leader of our team. And you know, he tries to get everybody on his level from a work ethic standpoint. And I think the younger kids, because we're so young, seeing that really has helped them. You know, kind of seeing like, okay, this is how Tyler does it. He's been here for 4 years. And I think that they've kind of piggybacked off that. You know, I have 6 freshmen, 3 sophomores. So like 9 of them are under, you know, freshmen or sophomores. And I'm really excited about both of those groups, as well as the juniors and seniors. So we have definitely a mix of younger players, veterans, and some new faces. But you know, I think they mesh well together. And like I said, they're just hard workers, no egos, no attitudes.
Talk about being in athletics or education for that matter. There's always going to be adversity in our personal lives and our professional lives in athletics. The message to the student athletes, like, what if we do this? Or guys, we're facing something I've never faced in my life as a coach. We're facing something, I never would face as a student athlete either. So what has your message been to your program, to these student athletes, to say, guys, we can try to make something as positive out of this as we can?
Yeah, I mean, when I spoke to them on New Year's Eve, the message that I tried to relay was that 2020 was tough, but it provided a lot of learning experiences for us, me as well. So, I mean, just learning experiences and opportunity to grow. And as you said, so many things out of your control where, as human beings, we don't like that. We want to have control of our lives and things that we do on a day-to-day basis. And a lot of that was taken away. And so there's just a lot of learning experiences, opportunity to grow, guys having to step out of their comfort level, having to find ways to be successful despite maybe not having the normal resources that you would have, maybe educationally. The whole way that you learn was changed, and also athletically when we're in these lockdown phases and you don't have access to a court, so how are you working on your game? So the message has just been, at some point we truly believe that we're going to get the opportunity to compete, and when that happens, everything that we've done or haven't done since March will shine through. And that's just been my message, control what we can control. We have to find ways, given the resources that we have, to get better, be better people, find ways to educationally reach our peak and make sure we're live with the Google Meets with the teachers every day and communicating with our teachers through meets and emails, and then just staying active physically in any manner that we possibly could, so that when we're back on the floor, hopefully Monday, that, it's not all about conditioning. And, I'm sure there'll be some minor setbacks, but we can get into it and start to prepare to compete.
How about you and your coaching staff, Mike, when you think about, okay, it's going to be different because we're going to hit the ground running here. So, whether it's scouting ourselves, scouting other teams, making quick fly adjustments, being able to adapt, making sure all our guys are in shape, the fundamentals when we get back into the gym. Have you gone through that thought process as to, we got to really think on our feet? The coaching is going to be a little bit different this year.
Yeah, you can't assume anything this year. We're going to be coaching every minute of every practice. We're going to be coaching every minute of the game. Not just timeouts. I mean, we're going to be literally coaching guys through every step of certain things at the JV and varsity level. I have a great coaching staff. I have two guys that are former varsity coaches. I have two former college players. Our coaching staff is top notch, and they're ready. And that's kind of what I said to them. Like, you gotta be ready to coach. Like, we're going at this hard. And everybody's gonna, at my practices, they all have opportunities to speak, opportunities to run drills, and work with kids on the side. And we have a great staff. So Christian Sinceri came over. He was a former head coach at Trail, and Jason Kenny from graduate and all-state player and 2,000 point scorer at Misericordia is on staff. Matt Tanner, former all-star for me and college players on staff. Jeff Evans was a former head coach at Lakeland. My athletic director is top-notch. Tommy Nowakowski does a fantastic job. And even my junior high coaches, especially Colin Shearer, another former player of mine, will step in and offer his help at all times. So, no matter what it is, we're going to work together and just find ways to coach the kids up the best we can.
Watching you build this program at Mid-Valley over the years, you're adding one more dimension every year. Now you're telling me about this coaching staff that, hey, you're almost getting as big as Holy Cross's staff. They got a huge staff every year. Every time I see, we're like, man, that's like 8 coaches down there. But Al Calais does a great job down there at Holy Cross. But talk about building this program, Mike. I mean, people know at Mid-Valley, hey, you want to be a basketball player, you're going to work hard for Mike Abda's group. And you guys are going to be respectful every year. You guys are going to compete in the league. You're going to compete for a playoff spot. You're going to try to compete for a district championship. You guys are hungry there as Spartans.
Yeah, I mean, when we started this, and I'm going into my 11th year this year, when we started this, it was all about culture change, and it was just about, how could you win if you don't expect to win? And how do you expect to win? Through your preparation and hard work. That's where confidence comes from. It could be a test in school. It could be a game in basketball. It could be an aspect of your life. But you need to be prepared. And so that's always been the message for 11 years. It's been, we're going to try our best to outwork everybody. We are going to gain tremendous confidence from that. And then when we go compete, we're going to believe we're going to win when that ball tips up, no matter who we're playing. We've played games in states again. We lost to the state champions in back-to-back years. And in both those games, we had opportunities in the fourth quarter to win. And we believed we were going to win. And so, from a culture standpoint, that it has to be that. And I give credit to the kids too, because you could say it till you're blue in the face, but the kids have to buy in. Their parents have to buy in. And they have to, reinforce those things at home. And I've just been very fortunate. Like I said, I mean, when you have, an administration and coaching staff and parents and community that are behind you, and then your message kind of resonates with everyone, it takes off. And, I mentioned Tyler O'Connor and, Danny Nemitz is an exceptional player. And those guys learned from the guys that were, ahead of them, and now they're the ones teaching our younger kids what this is about and how we do things. And it's nice to see, 11 years in, now you look at some kids that played for you that are now getting married or engaged, or, they are buying houses and have, solid jobs. It's good to know that being in our program probably had a small part of that, not bigger than their parents or other mentors or family, but probably a small part in they were able to overcome adversity and understand what it takes to be successful.
Yeah, excited to see guys like Tyler and Danny and what they're going to look like here in 2021. Mike, on a personal note, you got a young family, a little different holiday this year with being home, but a lot of positives with that as well. Talk about soaking up this family time over the holidays and the kind of fun you had there at the Abdas.
It's been good. It's been nice. During basketball season, I lose a lot of time with the family, and so this year it was a nice change of pace in that manner. As much as I miss basketball more than I could put into words, but it was a nice change of pace around the holidays, from Thanksgiving through, to be with the family a little bit more and be with my kids. And just, they're growing up quick, 9, 7, and 5 now. And it was a nice change of pace. I'm sure that my wife won't admit it, but I think she probably liked me being home a little bit too and helping out around the house. So it was good. That's one of the, one of the small benefits of all of this is that, you have more time to spend with your family where, that opportunity wouldn't be there normally.
Well, if we could just cue your wife now to tell you to take the garbage out, I think we'd be all set. Mike, we hope you have a great 2021 season. We're obviously hoping everybody could get back on the floor in a safe and healthy manner, and hopefully we all have a little better run here, and people could be doing a little bit better in society as well. But always a pleasure to talk with you, and we look forward to seeing you guys on the court.
Thanks for having me, John, and I hope you have a great new year.